possibly some plastic welding. This part section here, I'll zoom in the camera so you guys see this real well. This corner's been smashed in or melted a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and get this repaired and ready for paint. Once we get everything all set and done, this will be all sanded and whatnot and looking smooth for paint. So I'll zoom you all in, take a look at it. Now it might be a little bit noisy because I have to run my heat gun that I have here. Alright, so first step I want to do is take all this, get it heated up, and try to bend it back into where it was, back into shape. Now when you're doing this is why I'm doing a heat gun instead of flaming it, whatnot. You want to make sure you don't heat it up too much, or plastic tends to be more brittle. Try and use the blunt end of my screwdriver here. See if I can pop that stuff back into place. Yep, there it goes. You heard that little crack. So we're pretty close into shape. We got a little bit of a divot here. That part's sticking out a little bit too far. That needs to be popped back. There we go. That's looking a little better. Yeah. So we got this little part here where this part needs to come up some more. So I'm gonna give it a little more heat. It cools down pretty quick. We'll see if we get a punch in there maybe. See if we can kind of pound it back into place. I'm going to zoom you out just a tad bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult to get into that little section here. I need to do a little bit of body work. A little bit of body filler. There's no way that's coming up. So we're just going to have to manipulate our other pieces accordingly to match and fit, since that other one does not want to cooperate. There we go. Now we got it. I'll mess around with this and we'll bring it back and rest the procedure here. Alright folks, we're back. So I did end up at the last minute breaking off a little piece. That goes right here. I had it perfect. It was all lined up in its spot like I wanted it, and I broke it. So I mean, it happens. Which I told you before, I thought a little piece might break off, but that's okay. So there's a combination of things you're doing. You get yourself this two-part epoxy. It's called plastic bonder. JB makes it. There's Plastic Weld makes it. So there's a few different places or a few different people that make it. You usually go to your regular automotive store and they will have that. So a little bit of plastic welding. I used a lot of expensive tools over the years, but the best one I found was the one I used for wood burning. I use this mainly on wood burning, and I couldn't find my other one, so I decided to try this out, and it actually works out better than all these expensive automotive plastic welding tools. So I'm not complaining there. So just going to blend both sides of the plastic into the crack and then smooth it out. And this piece fit just right in there. I mean, it was just perfect. And it fits just a certain way. Go figure, right? Now I don't, so I could do some shaving. Something like that. Take a little bit and check. There we go. So there we go. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do as a filler is the plastic bond. A plastic bonder, that two-part epoxy. So that's gonna help us fill in everything. So this here where it's missing, this little piece where it's missing, I'm gonna put some tape in there and build it up with that plastic bonder. The stuff's kind of a little on the thick side, so it should work just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of anchor this in place here. When you go do this plastic bond, make sure you rough up your surfaces. Kind of give it a bite to hang on to. It really doesn't matter if you make this all messy. I just like to try to keep it clean for the most part for sanding wise. The more messy you have it, the more sanding you're going to do. Alright, so as you can see, it looks dirty because the plastic was dirty, but we got it back to original. Pretty close anyway. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead, sand this down, rough it up. We'll be right back in a flash. Just a couple more pieces of tape here that we're going to put on. One is like a side piece, like a dam. So you want to create a dam going around your piece. Don't want that stuff coming down on it, down on the sides. It's just a big hassle to deal with. And then this side here, or the top part, we're going to do that as well because we need to build that up a little bit. There we go. So I have my 2-part epoxy specifically for glue or for plastic. Okay. You need a mix tip, so make sure you have a mix tip. And they sell it along with this stuff, and I believe this comes with a couple of them. I always have a whole bunch on hand just in case. So, also, when you're prepping, if any of the plastic flakes off and just slides right off, then you didn't get a good melt. Okay, I had a couple pieces off on the side, and I thought of that. Oh, I better let y'all know of that. So we'll get this mixed up in our mix tip here, and I do not have. Oh, here we go. I always take a little bit out at first of the tip, just in case you didn't have any that was mixed well. We can go ahead and start on the. Might have to be a little difficult for me, but I think we can manage. There you go. Y'all can see that. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm gonna squirt this all right on the inside there. So not only is this bonding to the plastic, but it's also acting as a filler. You can see it's pretty thick. And it doesn't matter how you go about this, because the real work's all in your finish work. Okay, all the sanding and grinding that you will be doing. That's it. We'll let this cure up, and then there'll be definitely be a part 2 to this, because there's quite a bit to this. Folks, I hope you all enjoyed that little clip there. The little bit of plastic repair, a little bit of welding, and mostly build up is what the most of the project is. It mainly is trying to piece those all back together and getting them back into place as close as possible that you can for the build up. I would have used maybe a body filler, but I seen this was in the exhaust area, so that wouldn't have been a good idea. That stuff will dry out and crack and pop, and you'll be starting all over. Also, that it had the little fins and whatnot. It was just better to go off and replace it with plastic, basically, with that plastic bonder. So, um, other than that, folks, I hope you all enjoy that. Part 2 is coming up for this little project for our finishing, and yeah, all our finishing work, our sanding, grinding, all that, and getting the shape back into as original. So, all right, folks, I hope y'all enjoy that, and please be good, be kind, be safe. Please spread the love. I'll see you on the next one. Let's do it.